You're not just going to work experience and just standing in the corner feeling cold. How has that shown you that you want to do medicine, and how has that made you more confident that you don't want to do like pharmacy or nursing? Like, why medicine, you know? Why medicine is like the key thing that we're answering here. Knitting with old people, it's like it just shows that you're a well-rounded person, and that's what we like to see. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Leah Rebecca, and today I'm going to be doing a video on medicine personal statements, my advice. And if you haven't started writing your personal statement yet, maybe start to worry a little bit, just a smidge, you know. This will help you if you haven't started, or if you have started, what you can add to refine it and just to get you into medical school, because we need all the help that we can get, honestly. In my application, my personal statement is probably the strongest part. I actually had the opportunity for a Cambridge University application person to read it and review it, and he literally hyped me up so much. He's like, this is the best one I've ever read. I was like, ah. But yeah, that literally was very empowering. As science students, you kind of get out of the vibe of writing and essays, and so it's really good to kind of view the personal statement as a more intellectually fun, enjoyable thing, you know. So this will just be my tips to make it flow well, to make it show all of the qualities that they want, and to help you get into medical school. So I have been a bit MIA, and I'm going to be even more MIA because these autumn exams are very stressful, and I am just spending all of my time either studying or thinking that I'm not studying enough, and then doing papers, and then it's just a lot. This government really said there's results day, and then like 2 months later there's exams, and I have 2 exams on one day, so it's not looking very good. But I think I'm gonna do like live study with me for like all of the exam time, and then just like not post, but you guys understand. Anyway, so as you know, personal statements are 4,000 characters and 47 lines, maximum characters that you can use in lines. So you're going to have to be cutting it down, and it's just a bit long. One thing that's really important to note is that everyone's personal statement will be different. There'll be different structures, there'll be different like reflections and everything. So if you're reading loads of people's personal statements, make sure that you don't plagiarize. Just be careful, even if you're reading other people's personal statements, that you don't subconsciously copy very similar words, because like even a few phrases that are the same will literally get you like kicked out, and it's crazy, and you can get like blacklisted and stuff. Well, they love to scare us about that. But so first things first, as a medical applicant, it's definitely recommended to read all of these documents that are provided by the GMC and like the Good Doctor, Tomorrow's Doctors, Achieving Good Medical Practice, Good Medical Practice, and then the Core Values and Attributes to Study Medicine. So these are all very long PDFs, and they have like loads of words and themes that you need to have in your personal statement. You can specifically look at your universities and look at their websites to see what they want. They'll say like teamwork, leadership. So if you can use those exact words, keywords in your personal statement, that will help you to be on track and be the kind of student that they want. Just taking your university into account, some universities literally don't read your personal statement, and they'll just use your UCAT and your GCSEs and your A-levels instead. The personal statement is still really important because, you know, they might read it if you're being chosen between 2 people. It's just a good practice to make it really good, to make it the best of your ability. So medical personal statements are different. They're usually very work experience focused, and from that experience, how have you shown that you want to do medicine and that you have a realistic view of what medicine is? Because, you know, this pandemic has shown that this is like such a sacrifice. Like, they're in dangerous conditions, they're risking their lives, they're being separated from their families, and it's not all glitz and glamour and, you know, a stethoscope and all of that. It's really important to show that you have a realistic knowledge of what medicine is like as a career. It's going to be hard, but that you are resilient and that you know what you're coming in for. It's all well and good saying, oh yeah, I have 3 weeks in a hospital and 2 weeks in a care home and this week's and that week's and I went in a lab. How has that shown you that you want to do medicine, and how has that made you more confident that you don't want to do like pharmacy or nursing? Like, why medicine, you know? Why medicine is like the key thing that we're answering here. So with work experience, I feel like it's really important to kind of word it in a way that makes everything flow. It can be easy to list things off, but you should really try and make it seem like it flows. Like, I did this, which led me to be interested in this, and then I did this, and then I did that. And then they all taught me like loads of different skills that made me want to do medicine. Obviously there's a pandemic and it's very understandable if you haven't got like any work experience. Hopefully you've been able to do all of the online work experience, like discover GPs, going on LinkedIn and talking to doctors and asking them questions and interviewing them. So if you have like absolutely no work experience that's medically related, which, you know, is understandable because it's like crazy times, I'm sure universities will try and understand, but you can try to work in life of your experiences that relate to medicine. For me, I've worked a lot of jobs. So when you read all of those PDFs, use those keywords to relate to your own work. Say you delivered food for people during the pandemic, you could say how that relates to your personability, empathetic nature, going out of your way. And I'm sure that you'll be able to find things to relate because it has been crazy. So that is basically the work experience front. The main thing that I think is great to add in if you haven't got a lot of work experience is wider reading and books. I got all my books from the library, so I don't have any physically, but it's really great to read books and then write them in your personal statement. And you know, everyone always says, oh, make sure you've read them, but you should definitely have read them. Make notes on them so that when you have your interviews, you'll know what the book was about and the summaries and the main takes from it. For my personal statement, I kind of had a theme, just have everything flowing. So I had work experience in this, and then I read about that, and then I saw like the surgical things that I read about them, and then I researched them, and then I did my EPQ on things about them. So it was just very layered, and they like to see that because it shows that you've got that energy to kind of go out of your way and to learn new things and to look up things. You're not just going to work experience and just standing in the corner feeling cold. You're like actively asking questions, like, well, not to be in the way, but you're talking to any medical students and nurses and seeing what they like about their job and how they will work together in stressful situations. Wider reading is so important. Could link loads of books and just say how that's really impacted you, how that insight has made you relate to your own life, how a certain thing has really interested you, which led you to do this, and which shown that you had these principles and qualities, and we just love to see it, you know. Principles of volunteering is food banks, youth groups, charity shops, school mentors and tutoring, and care home volunteers, hospital volunteers and digital volunteers. There's also opportunities to call old people's homes and talk to them on the phone if they're lonely, because you know they're not allowed to have visitors. I'm not sure about the process of that now, but yeah, it's just crazy. It is so important to be very honest in your personal statement, to not lie, to not exaggerate. In your interview, it could be like an MMI station where they ask you something about your personal statement, but if you lied or you were inaccurate, then that's just going to catch you out, and you don't need to be having those bad vibes, for real. Extracurricular activities. So this was like the smallest part of my personal statement, because usually they care more about the more medicine focused things compared to other subjects. If you did hockey for 10 years for medicine, you could say how, you know, if you were the captain, that gave you a really strong sense of leadership and teamwork and perseverance. And it's kind of like, show me, don't tell me, you know. You shouldn't be forcing words in there, keywords in there. You should be say how working makes you a team player, you know what I mean? Allowing them to infer, you know, because it's like if you've been doing netball for 10 years and then you do music, knitting with old people, it's like it just shows that you're a well-rounded person, and that's what we like to see. These selfless people that are just devoted in their community people, prefects, head boys, head girls, all of that. Those are the main themes that you need to have in your personal statement. And what I'd say to avoid is obviously the cliches, like I knew I wanted to do medicine since I was born. Like I remember my first appointment and I saw the doctor and I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. Or even worse, my parents are doctors, so now I'm going to be a doctor. It's like, no to nepotism. I've seen that some places don't recommend using quotes because it's kind of a lot of characters to use, and instead you should kind of say it from your own perspective, not just like inserting someone's quote using speech marks. One thing my teacher kind of told us was with medicine you should kind of talk about the negatives as well and really evaluate all of your experiences. Like X was really difficult to see, but it kind of matured you and stuff like that. I feel like the content of what you put in your medical school application isn't that hard. Like actually making it all flow and work is what is the difficult part. I would definitely say try and get medical students, medical people, doctors, try to get loads of different people to read it. Like maybe get an Englishy, literary person that will make all the punctuation the most effective, concise ways that it can be done. A medical student like on Melanin Medics or We Are Medic. Though it's very important to remember that everyone is not an actual admissions tutor, so they don't actually know the perfect personal statement, but it's definitely good to have loads of people to read it and give their feedback on how you should word things and help you cut it down. You know, take it with a pinch of salt. You don't have to change it completely because someone says something, I suppose. So with the conclusion, I feel like it's always great to have a punchy conclusion because these admissions tutors have to read like hundreds of these, and you know, it's the beginning and the end is the most memorable. Definitely draft your conclusion a few times, revisit it, try to make it memorable and punchy, but at the same time it's not that deep if it's not. You can kind of summarize and reiterate your main points, and that will just help you to remember because they're literally going to go through so many and they're all going to be so similar. So if you could just make yourself really stand out, that would be a great thing. Though definitely don't rewrite your exact points in the conclusion or make any cliches or anything like that. You know, we've got not that many words. Also, when you're going through it, try to read it aloud because once you've like drafted it so many times and read it so many times, you kind of skip over any issues. But once you read it aloud or read it to someone, like that's when it's bad. Like once you read it in your real voice and like have someone's reaction to it, that kind of helps you to realize any awkward parts or any parts that don't flow as well. So it's really important to try it. So if you need to cut parts out, kind of take out the least interesting parts or the words that are really long. This is where it's good to have like an English teacher that knows all of the fancy punctuation and things you can use to cut it down. I saw this on Twitter, but you can literally like take paragraphs out and then rewrite them because it's worth kind of putting in the effort, you know, because this is a part of your application that is like done once you finished. So really just try to make it as good as it can be. So yeah, don't worry too much. Definitely check if your medical schools will read it or use it in their interviews. So that just puts even less pressure on it, but there's not really much that will make your personal statement bad or will make it like unacceptable. So don't worry about it too much. Definitely focus on getting the best predictions you can because that can be quite a factor with the medical school application. It's really good to use your personal statement to get you ready for the interviews and just kind of think through the kind of questions like why medicine and why medicine not nursing. It's really good to have these kind of thoughts so that when someone asks you, it's not the first time you've thought of it. You've read your personal statement to someone, you've explained your personal statement to your teachers. So it's just really good to get used to speaking about medical topics and feeling confident. I would definitely recommend medical students, medical organisations like Melanin Medics and We Are Medics. So yeah, that has been all of my tips and advice for medicine personal statements, and I hope it's been helpful. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you probably not that soon because these autumn exams are looming. People have been asking me for like more personalised advice, and it's just like so sweet when they say that it's really helped them and stuff, but yeah, I'm not really sure how active I'll be because I'll be writing. But thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye!